Colombia, a place of incredible but also frightening beauty. Imagine yourself in a land where nature and culture dance in perfect harmony, yet where the unknown can surprise you at every corner. Colombia is a true kaleidoscope of experiences, where the lush green of the mountains meets the deep blue of the Caribbean. But don't be deceived, because behind this stunning beauty lie mysteries and stories that will leave you questioning your own beliefs. Did you know there is a lost city hidden in the jungle, accessible only by treacherous trails? Or that some local traditions are so fascinating and, at the same time, unsettling that you'll find yourself reevaluating your own perspectives? Every corner of this country holds secrets that defy logic. As vibrant music echoes in the plazas, a shadow of stories of resilience and overcoming struggles hides behind the smiles. What would you do if you could explore these wonders while facing the fear of the unknown? Get ready, because Colombia will take you on a journey where the incredible and the scary intertwine in intriguing ways. Let's discover the mysteries this country has to offer together. Coffee and coffee landscapes. When I think of the Coffee Triangle region, the first image that comes to mind is that of lush green mountains, covered with endless rows of coffee plants. It's as if nature has created a green carpet that stretches as far as the eye can see. Walking through those plantations feels almost magical, and I find myself reflecting on how coffee is more than just a drink. It's a tradition, a way of life for the people in that region. Each cup carries the story of a community dedicated to cultivating the land with love and care. UNESCO recognized this area as a World Heritage Site, and it's easy to see why. Beyond the beauty of the landscapes, the coffee culture is rich and fascinating. When you visit one of the coffee farms, you are welcomed with open arms and quickly find yourself immersed in the daily routine of the coffee growers. Learning about the cultivation process, from harvesting to roasting, is like opening a book about the history of coffee in Colombia. And of course, I can't forget to mention the taste of fresh coffee, which is simply unparalleled. It is there, amidst the plantations, that I truly understood what real coffee means. Rural tourism experiences in the region are diverse and always enriching, from horseback riding through the plantations to hiking trails that offer breathtaking panoramic views. There's something for everyone. I feel that each moment spent there is an opportunity to connect with nature and the local culture. It's not just a visit, it's a true immersion into a lifestyle that values simplicity and the beauty of everyday life. And then there are the landscapes, the sunlight filtering through the leaves, the sound of birds singing in the background, and the aroma of fresh coffee in the air create a unique atmosphere. It's an invitation to slow down, take a deep breath, and appreciate life. There's nothing like sitting on a porch, a cup of coffee in hand, watching the horizon blend with the clouds. It's a moment of peace I always seek when I'm there. Without a doubt, the Coffee Triangle region is a place that leaves deep marks on the soul. Each visit is a new discovery, and the combination of stunning landscapes and the warmth of the locals make me want to return time and time again. It is one of Colombia's treasures that deserves to be explored and appreciated. The Lost City. The Lost City. When I first heard about this place, my curiosity was instant. Located in the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, it is one of the most impressive archaeological sites in Colombia, and the feeling of being there is indescribable. The hike to reach it is an adventure in itself. The trail winds through a dense jungle, and with each step, I felt more enveloped by nature, as if I were entering a world lost in time. As I got closer to the Lost City, excitement grew. The history of the Tairona civilization, who inhabited this region, is fascinating. They were great builders, and the ruins that still remain, with their stone staircases and terraces, tell a bit about the grandeur of what once existed there. It's as if the past is whispering secrets to those who are willing to listen. The connection to history is palpable, and I found myself reflecting on the lives of the Taironas and their interactions with nature. The atmosphere surrounding the Lost City is mystical. The dense vegetation, the sounds of the jungle, and the sense of isolation create an almost sacred environment. Upon reaching the top, the view is breathtaking. The mountains rise majestically in the background, and the landscape extends in a sea of green. I was reminded of how often we seek out places like this, where time seems to stand still, and everything becomes simpler. This is a refuge I will never forget. Another aspect that impacted me was the cultural significance of the lost city. For the indigenous communities that still inhabit the region, they preserve their traditions and care for the land with a respect that should serve as an example for all of us. By interacting with them, I realized that the past and present are interconnected, and history is not just in the stones, but also in the people who live there. Visiting the lost city is not just a trip, it's a true journey of self-discovery. Nature, history, and culture intertwine in a unique way, and I left with a new perspective on life and our connection to the world around us. It's a place I recommend to anyone seeking a meaningful and transformative experience. Tayrona National Natural Park. Tayrona National Natural Park is one of the jewels of Colombia that I have always dreamed of visiting. From the moment I stepped foot in that place, I felt as though I was in paradise. The combination of white sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, and lush vegetation is simply breathtaking. Every corner of the park seems to have been lovingly sculpted by nature, and I feel privileged to explore it. One of the things that impressed me the most were the trails that wind through the jungle. The hike is full of surprises, with local fauna and flora revealing their beauty at every turn. It's as if nature is telling me a story, and I couldn't help but stop to admire every detail. The smell of wet earth, the song of the birds, and even the sound of leaves rustling in the wind create a symphony that makes me feel part of that ecosystem. The park's beaches are a chapter in themselves. They possess a beauty that seems surreal. The water is so clear that you can see the fish swimming just below the surface. I remember spending hours simply relaxing on the sand, listening to the waves, and letting the sea breeze caress my face. It's one of the few places where the connection with nature is so intense that it makes me forget about the world outside. The feeling is liberating. Besides the natural beauty, Tayrona National Park also houses important archaeological sites, remnants of the indigenous culture that inhabited the region. When visiting these places, I realized that nature and culture are intrinsically linked. It serves as a reminder that Colombia's history is rich and diverse, and we must value and respect the roots that have shaped us. Every stone, every path taken is part of this story that deserves to be told. The experience of being in Tayrona National Natural Park is undoubtedly one of the most enriching of my life. The blend of adventure, culture, and natural beauty creates an environment that makes me want to return again and again. With each visit, I discover something new and connect even more with the essence of this magical place. It's a destination that stays in the heart and will always be fondly remembered. Salto del Tequendama. The Salto del Tequendama. When I arrived there, the first thing that surprised me was the sheer force of the water rushing down the waterfall. It plunges from an impressive height, forming a mist that spreads through the air. It's hard not to feel small in the face of such grandeur in nature. The sound of the water falling is almost like a symphony, a sound that mixes the raw power of nature with a poetic softness that completely enveloped me. The beauty of the place is not the only attraction. The history of Salto del Tequendama is filled with legends and tragedies. It is said that in the past, many people leap from the edges of the waterfall, as if seeking to escape some unbearable pain. The urban legends surrounding the site make the visit even more fascinating. I found myself imagining what might have led those souls to make such a decision. It's a somber reminder that beauty can be intertwined with sadness, and this adds a special depth to the experience. The views around are also breathtaking. The dense vegetation and the mountains surrounding the waterfall create an almost mystical setting. As I walked along the trails, I was able to spot some native birds and even a group of monkeys in the distance. The feeling of being so close to such vibrant nature is invigorating. The environment made me reflect on the importance of preservation and respect for the natural beauties that still remain. Additionally, there is a small museum nearby that tells more about the history of the region and the legends surrounding the waterfall. I was able to learn about the indigenous tribes that inhabited the area and how this place became a landmark over the years. This connection to the past made my visit even more meaningful. History and nature go hand in hand, and this place is a perfect example of that. As I was about to leave, I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. The beauty of Salto del Tequendama left me enchanted, but at the same time, The sad stories I had heard echoed in my mind. Nature is beautiful, but it also reflects human experiences. And this duality made me think about how we should cherish every moment. Salt Cathedral of Zipaquirá. The Salt Cathedral of Zipaquirá is a masterpiece that I couldn't miss visiting. As soon as I entered, I was enveloped by a unique atmosphere, as if I were in another world. The soft light illuminating the carved salt walls with their impressive details created a sense of tranquility. Each step I took seemed to resonate with the history of that place, and I felt part of something greater. Built inside a salt mine, the cathedral is a true marvel of engineering. The sensation of being surrounded by massive salt pillars and the sculptures carved into the walls was mesmerizing. The architecture is a fusion of art and spirituality, and I couldn't help but feel inspired. It was as if every detail had a profound meaning, reflecting the devotion of all who contributed to building that sacred space. The spiritual aspect of the cathedral is undeniable. As I wandered through the halls, I noticed that many visitors were in a state of contemplation. The cathedral is not just a tourist attraction, it's a space for reflection and spiritual connection. I saw people lighting candles and offering prayers, which only reinforced the experience I was having. The energy of the place is palpable, and I felt touched by it. Visiting the Salt Cathedral is not just about the architectural beauty, it's also a journey through the history of salt mining in Colombia. The guide accompanying us shared fascinating stories about the significance of salt to the region and how this mine transformed into one of the country's main tourist attractions. This combination of history, art, and spirituality made the experience even richer. As I left the cathedral, I couldn't help but feel a deep gratitude for having had the opportunity to visit such a unique place. The Salt Cathedral of Zipaquirá is not merely a tourist attraction. It is a testament to humanity's ability to create beauty from the earth, and that will remain etched in my memory for a long time. Culture and festivals. When I think of Colombia, I can't help but remember the explosion of colors and sounds that festivals bring. One of the most emblematic is the Barranquilla Carnival, which takes place every year and attracts thousands of visitors. It's a true spectacle. The streets filled with people dressed in elaborate costumes, dancing to the rhythms of cumbia and salsa. The energy is contagious, and I find myself dancing along with the locals, completely forgetting about the outside world. It's a moment when Colombian culture reveals itself in all its diversity. What I love most about the Barranquilla Carnival is how it brings together people of all ages. Children, with their wide smiles and colorful costumes, dance alongside the elderly, who, with a spark in their eyes, show that the passion for celebration knows no age. This makes me reflect on the importance of tradition, the way it perpetuates and reinvents itself each year. It's as if each generation leaves its mark, creating a cultural mosaic that enriches with each edition. Another festival that impressed me was the Feria de las Flores in Medellin. The city transforms into a true garden, with flowers of all species exhibited in parades and fairs. The beauty of the orchids and sunflowers is breathtaking. Additionally, the music and dance performances are an irresistible invitation to be swept away by the joy. I remember getting lost in the artisan stalls, admiring the talent of local craftsmen and how they convey culture through their works. During these events, the hospitality of Colombians is truly remarkable. People are always willing to share a smile, a story, or even a dance. It's as if the festival is a collective celebration of life, and I felt like a part of it. The traditional food is also an integral part of the experience, with dishes like arepas and bandeja paisa served on every corner. Cuisine is a vital element of culture, and there's no way to resist experiencing the local flavors while enjoying the festivities. These festivals are more than just celebrations. They are an expression of Colombian identity. The music, dance, and traditions that permeate these events help me better understand the soul of the people. Each beat of the drum and every dance step tells a story, and I am fortunate to be a privileged spectator of these vibrant narratives unfolding under the sun and stars. Colombian Amazon. Just that word conjures images of a vast forest, rich in biodiversity and full of mysteries. The Colombian Amazon, in particular, is one of the most fascinating places I have ever visited. As I entered this region, I was immediately enveloped by the lush vegetation and the sounds of nature. It's an environment where life pulses in every corner, and every step I take seems to connect me more deeply with the natural world. During my journey through the Amazon, I was able to observe an impressive variety of flora and fauna. I was awed by the beauty of the colorful macaws flying across the sky, and the serenity of the streams winding between the trees. The biodiversity is so rich that it's almost impossible to describe in words. However, this beauty comes with a challenge: conservation. The pressure from deforestation and human activities is an alarming reality threatening this ecosystem. Beyond environmental issues, the presence of indigenous communities in the Amazon is another aspect that deeply marked me. I had the opportunity to meet some of these communities and learn about their traditions and ways of life. It's admirable how they live in harmony with nature, using resources sustainably and respecting natural cycles. This intimate connection with the land is something many of us in cities have lost over time. Indigenous culture is rich and full of wisdom. Every ritual I observed, every story told around the campfire reinforced the importance of preserving their traditions. The Amazon is not only a home to countless species, it is also the home of ancestral knowledge that deserves to be valued and respected. Talking with indigenous people made me realize that often they are the true guardians of the forest. The Colombian Amazon is a place that challenges understanding. The natural beauty is undeniable, but there are nuances that go beyond a superficial view. It's a place that made me reflect on my role as a visitor and the responsibility we have to protect these spaces. The connection established with nature and local communities is profound and transformative, and the Amazon has left a mark that I carry with me to this day. So, folks, we've reached the end of this incredible journey through Colombia, and I can't stop thinking about everything we've seen, from the majestic mountains of Cocora to the mysteries of Cartagena. Every corner of this country is a true lesson in culture and curiosity. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to explore these places more deeply, or perhaps to taste the local cuisine, filled with unusual flavors and aromas that awaken the senses? And what about the legends surrounding the Colombian Amazon? They show us how nature and culture intertwine in surprising ways. But tell me, which of these wonders surprised you the most? Are you excited to visit any of these destinations? Colombia is a place that defies expectations and invites us to step out of our comfort zones. So, how about planning your next trip? Remember, the world is full of incredible places waiting for you, and Colombia is just the beginning. Before you go, don't forget to give that like and subscribe to our channel. That way, we can explore even more fascinating curiosities and cultures together. And who knows, on your next trip, you might be even more amazed. Until the next video.